all day. So again, stay tuned until the end. Thank you for tuning in today. And if there's anything in the future that you would like to see, hit us up on Instagram at Sharkfin Shears and let us know what you want to learn about. Let's get started. Hello everybody, welcome to another Monday for our live class here. Super excited about the model that I have today and jumping in with you guys. If you guys heard the video, we have every Monday, we're here live for you, trying to give you guys tricks and tips that you can take whether you're in school or an instructor, or you've been cutting hair for a long time, you're a stylist or a barber. We're looking to bring information to you to help you behind the chair. Just our thank you from Sharkfin Shears for everything that you guys are doing and for supporting us as well. So we'll talk about shears today as well. We're going to talk about our haircut. We're going to go in depth about what I'm using, what I'm doing, and why. We're going to be working with curly hair today, which is can be intimidating for a lot of people, so I'm excited to have this haircut for you guys today. If you're joining us live, we have the chat open for our Zoom link, so if you could share a little bit of information about yourself. If you're jumping on as an individual, just how long you've been cutting for, maybe something you're looking to get out of today's class or something you're struggling with. I'll answer your questions as I can throughout the time here. If you're joining us from a school, what are the students that are watching today? How many hours have they been in? What are you guys looking to get out of it as well? Any feedback is helpful during the class. If you want to reach out to us afterwards, you can message us on Instagram at Sharkfin Shears. And if you're looking to give us some feedback or want to know more about a specific topic, maybe in the future we could put it into a class, email us at education@sharkfinshears.com. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, again, we can give you some very useful information that you can use behind the chair. So I'm going to jump into today's class because I'm excited. We got a lot to share with you, and I just want to bring out our live model. So come on in, brother. What's up, man? Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, man.
All right. So usually I introduce people, but just give them your name and a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about the haircut and everything.
Awesome. My name's Max. I cut at the North Penn Modern Nail Shop. I've been cutting hair for about 3.5 years, but I'm super excited when Vinny told me, you needed somebody with curly hair today, come get a haircut. I obviously needed a haircut, so for me, man, it was, it was a no-brainer. I wanted to come in and, help him out. So, love cutting hair, man. Love to be a part of this.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being in. This is Max's day off. Like you said, he's cutting in the shop, so he's off Sunday, Monday, so he's dedicating some time today. Max and I work side by side in the shop together, and was also a former student. So again, just excited to have him in. I went in, I was in the shop, we were cutting hair, we had a break, and I was sitting across from him, and it was just like, Max, you need a haircut? Kind of looked like you need a haircut. I've cut Max's hair before, not in this style, so I was excited to do that. We've done mohawks on Max before, and we've done mid to high skin fades with it leaving longer on top and whatnot. And kind of some things in between. So Max has had a couple different hairstyles. I've cut his hair along the way the last 3 years, but this style that he's doing, we're going to tackle today a little bit together. So why don't you share with us what you're looking to achieve, like what you've been doing the last couple of haircuts and what you're looking to achieve today.
Yeah, so I've been going with the mullet. Obviously, I cut hair, so I like switching up every once in a while. But keeping the mullet on the sides, and I do like the curly hair. I like it off my ears, but I kind of want to keep the curl, keep the length, but just obviously more maintained. When my hair gets too long, it kind of gets just wild and out of hand. I feel like I can't really do anything with it. So kind of like I said, keep the kind of same style, but just tidy it up a little bit. Usually I go skin on the sides, at the, like towards the bottom, and then kind of short, short on the sides, and then obviously keep the most of the curl on the top and the back, but just like a little tightened up.
Yeah. And to me, this is kind of a modified mullet, would you say? I mean, it's kind of like a mix between like a high or like a taper.
Yeah.
In the taper area. You mentioned you really don't like, you're just kind of getting tired of the hair touching your ears, so you like that tighter area around the ear, but want to maintain the length on the top and in the back.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right. And that's kind of like, it's not going to be as dramatic to me as a mullet, so it's going to kind of be in between because we are leaving the curls on the top, and there's not going to be a crazy difference between the top length and the back. So that it's cool with you though?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm seeing. That's what I've seen in your hair and everything. So, all right. So I'm going to just touch on a couple characteristics of your hair, and we'll jump into like what we're doing. So, Max has a type of curl. Couple different types of curls out there. His is a little looser. Definitely on the top, and then in the back it gets a little tighter. He does have a little bit of like a tighter curl. So pulling the hair out a little bit, it is a little longer in the back. I love the tight curl. We're gonna maintain this look in the back. I'm not gonna touch too much. And as you can see, he has a natural short to long, natural taper here in the nape. I'm seeing some bulkiness throughout the center back, and then the wings. What about, so like when I look at you from the front, I can kind of see like these wings kind of sticking out. Do you like that? You want to like keep a little bit of that? You want that to be tightened up a little bit, or what are you thinking?
To be honest, like I'll leave that up to you, man. Like I do,
Okay.
I do like, I don't mind seeing the wings, but your professional opinion, whatever you're kind of feeling today.
Cool.
If you want to take that in.
I think just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then how often are you getting that? How often will you you get a hair? I mean, I know you're in the shop. Sometimes you'll get a trim
not often enough, but I mean, with this haircut, like I would love like 3 to 4 weeks would be like ideal.
Well, to keep this sharp on the side and everything.
Yeah, and then the back, like it's like almost like in every other sort of deal.
So like every 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're not gonna touch kind of like the interior, then for like another 6 weeks, I would just trim that up a little bit. Bring this in here. I'm not gonna touch much down at the nape. Again, because I really like this shape. It's a little bulky through here, and then we're gonna trim the top and whatnot. So I'm actually gonna start from the top, work my way to the back to connect to where we talked about, work the sides, and then we're gonna do the taper and everything. So let's get started. What was the last haircut? When was your last haircut overall? It looks like it was a little while ago.
Yeah, Erin cut it. I would say probably around 3 weeks ago.
Okay. And that was
it wasn't too long, but like she didn't really touch much on top and the back. It was more so just the fade on the sides, like the taper mullet on the sides.
All right, cool. So we're good to go on the inside. You want to hand me the glasses?
Absolutely.
I'll hold on to those for you. Okay, so with a curl, a wave, somewhere in between, my approach today is I'm gonna wet down the top of Max's hair, and I'm taking into consideration how it looks now, that the curl, the hair is gonna react in 2 ways. The curl is gonna tighten up, and then with when the hair dries, it's gonna tighten up even more. So I'm taking a really good look at the shape that I'm seeing and where I want it to kind of come in a little bit and where I want it to stay full. Now Max did walk in with a hat on, which I feel like him being a barber, he should have known better. But if you saw him sit down with his Eagles jersey on, he's very excited about the game tonight. So I'm not gonna come at him too hard about that, but it is making a little bit of difference in the side and the back where the hat was like sitting and stuff. So all right, so we're gonna wet this down, and knowing that it's been about 6 weeks and hair grows about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch in a month, when I comb this out and get it straight, I'm gonna really take some clean sections front to back. I'm gonna stretch the hair out and really be precise about how much I'm taking off, so that when the hair curls back up, it's gonna be in that final shape that I'm looking for. So knowing that the hair is going to shrink when it's dry, and because of the curl, it's going to tighten up. I'm going to take that into consideration. I can take less off, a little less off than I think. To achieve the look that we're trying to get today. So Max's hair is not fighting me. As you can see, I got the curl to be pretty straight. Other hair will be super resistant. Other curly hair will be super resistant. It'll curl back up. So that's when I go to take my sections. I'm going to have a lot of tension and pretty much just pull that hair straight for when I'm cutting it. There is a disconnect on the side here, which I will talk to you guys about. I'm going to leave that disconnect, and we'll talk about why and what that's going to look like. All right, so starting at the top, I'm going to work my way front to back. If you've been tuning in on the last couple of classes, I'm still using my 6 1/4 double shark fin shear. This is my go-to, my workhorse, so that's what I'm going to be starting with today. We'll talk a little bit more about it later. Also, I talk a lot about top cutting, so I'm going to leave out Max's kind of front fringe area to start. We're going to cut from top back, and then I'll show you how I can connect that. I'm going to start center. Oh, nice. So don't be surprised when you can see how long Max's hair is, but again, this is where you need to take into consideration the type of hair that we have, this curly hair that he has. So I still want to stay within taking off 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. All right, so we got one, bringing my guy back, can see that very clearly because I didn't take up a ton of hair in my neck section. When you're working off of guides and you're combing uncut hair and a guide together, if you can't see your guide, then you're taking up too much of the uncut hair. So if you can't see it, don't cut it. Take a smaller section. Max has a nice amount of hair on the top. He's got pretty thick hair. So I'm gonna really make sure that I'm paying attention to my sections. Now my guide, I'm moving out to the left. My guide's coming from the center. So I'm gonna cut to my guide, and then as I work back, I have two guides, one from front and then one from the center.
Max, you're like about to go to one of those really expensive balls right now. Elements. Get that Superman swoop on the front.
That's what I look like?
Yeah.
Nice. So what are we thinking for tonight, dude, for the game?
Oh, I'm excited, man. I think the birds are going to be, I think they're better than what everybody thought they were going to be.
Yeah?
What are
Yeah,
you
I
going
think
against
so.
tonight?
What was that?
Falcons?
Yeah, I think it's the Falcons, yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited.
They went to the Super Bowl last year, right?
2 years ago? Last year they didn't go.
That was 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
You're lying.
Yeah, they lost to Kansas City.
Yeah, dude, that was 2 years ago?
Because last year was the Niners.
Bro, it was. It was Niners versus the, what, Patriots?
No, it was not Kansas City.
Yeah, I forgot. Kansas City went twice, and they lost to the Niners, and then they beat the Eagles.
No, they beat the Eagles and the Niners. They're going for a three-peat this year.
Wait, no, you bugging, bro. What?
Yeah,
They beat the Niners last year?
yeah.
It's not I watched the Super Bowl. I forgot all this stuff. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes, man.
All right, so let's pay attention real quick. I left the front area out. I started almost at the apex, towards the back of the bang. I like to do cross check from the top to the front. And what I'm making sure of is, if you can see in the front here, the bang is pretty much being slightly over directed to keep it long. And when we dry the hair, we'll take a look and see if we want to change that at all. But then once I have that, I can go back to horizontal sections on the top and widen that out and really have it sit in the way that I want it to and move with confidence. I think that's one of the key things. I'm explaining all of this so that you guys can get it down and you can move a little bit more confidently off of the other decisions that you made, because they all affect each other. So because I went from the back of the bang or the front of the apex back and cut, that was my guide to be able to know exactly how much to take off of the front when I'm elevating it to keep it the way I want it to. And then, as you can see, there's some hair in the front here with some like fragile or dead ends, and I'll just gently trim that at a low level, which will keep the integrity of the length that I have. And clean it up for him. Sweet. What are you doing for the game tonight? Are you going to watch it at home?
Yeah, I'll probably be at home tonight.
Nice. It's going to be a late one, so.
Yeah, late game's been killing me, man.
Yep.
How did the game start?
8:15, man.
That's crazy. It's probably ended like 11.
Yeah.
30 from there.
All right, so bringing my guy down into the parietal, I stop there, and then as you can see, we are going to leave a little bit in the side hanging over that taper, because again, the curly hair is gonna recoil, shorten up, and then when I was looking at Max's hair, he actually kind of had this hair sitting down, and this shorter hair was like brushed back, and it was sitting really nice. It was stacked really well. So I'm going to maintain that integrity. We're going to keep this hair, we're going to comb it down, keep it at a low elevation and trim it up. And then again, when that dries and the curl sets in, that recoil, see, even with it just like that, it can sit right on top. So judging it off of that and the way it looks and liking it, we'll leave it there. And then when we go to taper that in, we'll see how that sits, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. When you're doing a haircut, and we'll talk about this in the taper, we can talk about it more in the taper, but it's very easy to get lost in your process when you're cutting hair, and when you watch people who've been cutting hair for a long time, it looks like they can just bounce from one thing to the other. I highly recommend what you do to one side, you do to the other in your early stages of cutting, so you can check it off and remember where you were and what you did. Because getting lost in a haircut, then you start cutting things that you shouldn't, and the hair gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and then you get into a pickle. What are some of your favorite haircuts, Max? You got a favorite haircut right now?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I love the all scissor haircuts, man. Nothing against the skin fade. I don't mind doing those every once in a while, but if I could do like the long scissor haircuts all day, I could do that. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I like cutting the curly hair too. Curly hair is fun. Gives you a little challenge.
Yeah. It's nice when you get a little different texture in the hair to break up the monotony. So like longer hair. So you've really been enjoying these like, TikTok haircuts, long flow in the front, or?
To be honest, the TikTok not so much, man. I was about it for the first like 6 months, and I was like, all right, this is kind of getting.
Yeah, I know.
But I do, yeah. I like the all scissors, man. They're fun.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, barbers. What era kind of haircuts do you guys like the most? Like 80s, 90s styles, 70s cuts, 60s, or modern cuts?
Yeah, that's kind of tough when you ask about the modern, because that's all we do is like borrow from history.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say for myself, the probably 20s and 30s, and then maybe 50s and 60s. Yeah, Elvis, the Elvis look, Johnny Cash, kind of stuff like that was cool. Just a lot of style. They had a lot of style. What about you, Max? Where would you go?
I don't even know if I have a favorite, to be honest. I kind of just like the switch up of it. Like I like doing like the new school, some of the old school. Like the mullets are kind of coming back. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I first started cutting hair, I hated doing mullets and like kind of like I don't know, stuff like that. But I kind of grown to more so like it, and yeah, I just like the switch up, man. They're all kind of fun in their own little way.
I think a go-to for me that I enjoy doing is mohawks, as like a kind of a different haircut.
I have seen a good amount in your book, man. Over the last couple of years, man.
Yeah, we've had a few.
I used to have a mohawk.
Yeah, you would do. I think you would have a cool mohawk. I used to have a few, and I've changed them over the years. So, all right, taking a look at Max's hair. This is a little bit more what I was talking about with the curls. The curls are kind of fighting. It's so curly in the back that they're resisting even the comb and the water to kind of get it straight. Again, having an idea, a visual, and if you're just getting into like cutting or you haven't messed with like curly, wavy hair a lot, it's going to be harder to have that visual in your head on what it's going to fit, what the finished product's going to be. That's going to come with time and working with that type of hair. So if you want to get better at it, go find some people local to you. If you see somebody with the hair type you want, offer them a free haircut. That's what I did a lot when I was starting out and wanted to get better. So, yeah, that visual, you're just going to have to put the work in and cut this type of hair more and more and more. But I want to work, because of what we're talking about and what we know, I'd like to get Max's type of curl as straight as possible because it's easier to work with. So this area right behind the ear here, this is where we want to go a little tighter with that wing. So I'm going to change from like a vertical section into a horizontal. I'm going to find the cutting direction, and I'm going to comb the hair in that cutting direction. So as you guys can see here, I actually have a guide right here from that shorter hair. Knowing that the hair behind the ear was puffing out, I'm going to take my first section here. This is going to be, again, a little bit of like a diagonal. I got my guide here. And then, Des, you can see this. I'm going to pull my finger angle out at the fingertip and keep my knuckles closer to his head to increase length. So it's going to be a short to long, which is what we want for the mullet. And this should help, well, it will help take that bulk out, those bat wings behind the ear. So again, my guide's up here, my knuckles are on his head to increase length. I'm going to extend the fingertips out away from the head, create a short to long look. Get rid of a little bit of that puffiness. Pulling the fingers out almost to where the hair at the fingertip disappears, and that lets me know that I'll be connecting to the back length. So I'm just taking off what I have to. Sweet. So to check that, I'll just move over. Yep. Here was the cut. Here was what I was trying to blend into, and then here's a little in between. So if I want to connect that and match it up, there's a little triangle in here. Perfect. Nice. So again, I just blended that little side panel where the wings were coming out into the back. Don't have to lose my integrity of length and shape in the back that we wanted to. And then I was seeing a band through here of hair that seemed to be puffing out. So I'm actually going to take a section from the crown. That hair right there can be a guide. And I'm just going to cut that stuff right in the middle, right there. That's it. The hair's telling me exactly what to do. Just by combing and elevating it slowly and looking for those guides. So here's the nape area I want to keep the integrity of. Here's the crown coming off the head, and I'm just going to cut right in between to remove a little bit of that length and bulk there. So I went to about half the head. Let's repeat on the other side. So if you're following along, we comb the hair back. Wetting the hair, saturating it so I can get really clean sections. Using tension so I can straighten out the curl and the wave for Max so I can have control. And now we're going to work in a opposite. So over on this side, I had my knuckle up against Max's head, pulling the fingertips off. I'm going to put the fingertips on the head, pulling my knuckles off to increase length. Dez is behind the monitor, so he's going to let me know what's going to be the best visual for you guys, being left-handed. I will do my best to show you exactly what I'm doing. How's that, Dez?
It looks good. I'm actually zooming in to help out.
Sweet. So fingers are pressed up against the head. I don't want to follow the contour. I want to come out and increase length. So I'm going to cut that curl in between. And then we're going to work from there. Love it. Being left-handed and working from left to right, this is a little easier. So we do have our strong sides. This is a little stronger for me. All right. So following that, again, there was some bulk through this band. I want to find it. I'm going to go to a vertical section. I see shorter length up here. I see a longer length in the middle. I'll pull my fingertips out to protect that nape area again. Can you put your chin down slightly, Max? Thanks. And I should connect, boom, right there. So that I already cut that. So I just connected the left to the right, or the left to the middle, the right to the middle, and now everything's connected the way that we wanted it to be. I cut the top. I took the crown as a guide here. There was some length sticking out in the middle here, so we cut that, maintained the integrity of the nape. And I'm gonna go up and just kind of check the crown. I shouldn't have a lot of length there. Yeah, this looks good. You said Aaron cut your hair previously?
She did, yeah.
Nice, good job, Aaron. Cross check, look at this, right to the top. That's the only area we need to touch up. There's our connection, boom. That's great. So we connected vertically, horizontally. Perfect. All right, so you're gonna come back up, tilt to the left a little bit. Every time I move Max's head position, it allows me to stay in a comfortable position. We sacrifice our bodies a lot, just like we fall out of a comfortable position. If you're cutting hair and you're working behind the chair 8 to 10 hours a day and you're doing anywhere from 16 plus haircuts a day, the more you can be in an upright, comfortable position, the more comfortable you'll be for longer term. So anytime you can kind of check yourself, sacrificing how you're standing for the haircut, just see what you can do with the client in the chair. I'm an instructor at the school at Modern Male Barber Academy. I was just talking to a student today about that. Your chair moves up and down so that if you're working low, you can bring them up to chest level. And if you're working high on the head, you can bring them down to chest level. That's one way that you can make sure you're standing in a comfortable position. And then what I was just asking Max to do was like tilting left to right, or chin down or chin up. Those are all different head positions that will really help you behind the chair. I love this career. I hope to be doing it for a long time. And with some people ahead of me that are older, seeing some of the struggles they're going through, I definitely want to maintain this integrity. All right. What do we got? We got any questions? Anybody in?
We have one person.
We're gonna be watching. People are gonna be watching. Watching the rerun version of this.
Is there?
Cool.
There's one person on YouTube, then they evaporated, and then you have two people in.
That's all good. Well, that's why we record this, guys. So if you couldn't join us live today, this will be on Shark Fin's live section on YouTube. So you can watch it whenever you want, however you want, fast, slow, whatever works for you.
Natasha Davis has a comment. She said, I think the wrong link was sent in the email.
Oh, it's the same. We've had the same link. I use the same link now. I don't change them anymore, but thank you. I will check on that. Then can you ask Natasha, or if she can hear me, what link did you use to get here today then? That's what I would want to know. All right, so with curly hair, I'm applying a matte finish product right now, slightly damp. We're gonna let this air dry and then we'll take the diffuser, maybe to finish it. But while the hair is still slightly damp, just working in a really light product. And if you notice, I'm gonna scrunch it. So earlier, I was using the comb and the hair was saturated. So I was using tension and it was straightening it out. And as it's starting to dry, we're getting that curl back. And then scrunch it. I don't want to apply a lot of tension anymore. So scrunching, I'm going to try to apply the product and then keep that curl in there. And the wave that Max has. I think that's going to look good. So handsome. All right.
What product did you end up throwing in?
I did a matte clay. That was from Statement. I've been kind of messing with that a little bit.
You like it?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
You tend to throw in the creams more like damp or more dry?
When I'm working through a haircut like this and I'm in like a half-hour time frame, so like I'm gonna go to your taper, right? So I'm gonna dry this slightly with the diffuser, and then start in the taper, let the hair dry a little bit more naturally, and then go from there. I'm gonna go low pressure, low heat right now. And just try to get that curl back so I can see before you roll. But I'll spin you in the camera and we can see the texture and stuff coming back, the curl. How's that feel?
Yeah,
Feels all right.
Yep.
So I'm moving quick because I don't want to have Max's hair get frizzy. The curls are coming back nice and tight together. And if you have a Dyson, this heat, even on a low setting, can be pretty hot. So I want to touch and go right now. But I'm seeing less bulk here. So now I'm really starting to analyze like what's going on. I'm seeing less bulk here. Less bulk here. Less bulk in that band in the back there, but still got a nice taper. We scissor cut the top so that he'll have a nice shape for the next 6 weeks or so. Light circles and kind of lifting the hair. And then, like I said, just kind of moving quick. Max's hair, noticing dries quick. It actually absorbed a lot of the water too. Huh?
Move the camera.
It's my camera. Sorry, guys. Was it bad?
It was like the freezer double.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Who set this up? Amateurs? Sweet. How's this looking, Des?
It looks great.
Cool.
I think the cool thing about this is that you typically say it's all about control, and every step I see you do, but everything that you do next, it actually happens because you have control over the situation. We have another comment when we talked about it.
Yeah, lay it on me.
She said, I received them at the Hell in the Pasta and thanks for your comment. We're going to be available to watch our live feed. She said, I received them from my school. first one that I was sent to me was for a different day in class. We ended up using the same link as before, and found you here. I don't know if anyone else had the same mistake, but I'm glad they're recorded, and thank you guys for doing it.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you again for letting us know. We'll look into it because there might be some people missing out today. But again, check out the YouTube if you want to check it out. Just so you guys know, what I just did was I turned the heat off. It's on a cool setting now. And the goal is that I didn't dry Max's hair to a point where it's gonna frizz, and the cool air will now lock in the style. It'll lock in the product, and it'll lock in the look. So this is gonna close the cuticle, if you wanna get technical. We opened it up with the heat. So we physically changed the hair with heat. And now we're trying to freeze it in place. What I like about this when you're styling, a couple things are happening. Max, you don't do this every morning, correct?
I try to when I'm at work, but it doesn't always happen, no.
Right. So the cool thing about what we're doing for Max, this is repeatable. I know that if he got out, I'm trying to show you guys just kind of in live time what's going on. He doesn't have to do this. If he let his hair dry naturally, he would get this look and maybe something slightly different. But if you were styling, that's how I would do it. Low heat. I'm paying attention to Max's hair type, how fast it's drying, and for Max I had to do like a touch and go. And really liking that look. Man, we got that Matthew McConaughey going, brother. I don't know, maybe you should go out for the game tonight, you know?
Lincoln?
Maybe you should go out tonight.
If you want to buy the style, buy Lincoln.
Sweet. All right, it is, we have plenty of time to do this taper, to explain this taper, do some polish work for Max. And then if we have any follow-up questions or anything else we want to explain, we can do that. So let's go into the taper area. From top of ear to the point is about the taper area. When you're staying below that, you can connect to longer hair. And as we talked about earlier, we disconnect this hair. If I pull it, is actually longer, but because of the curl, this is exactly why we left it disconnected, so that when it actually sits dry, it sits where we want it to. If we cut it more, then it'll sit shorter, and for this haircut, it's not what we wanted. So let's go into the taper. I'm gonna move to my adjustable, put a closed 2 on. I'm gonna clear out the area, and I'm gonna do it at the angle that we talked about. So I'm not gonna go in like this, or I'm gonna cut into the haircut. If I go in horizontal, I'm gonna cut into the haircut. So we're gonna go on a diagonal, following the same shape, and that's how we're gonna produce the taper every time I cut here. So the reason I went with a closed 2, I'm confident that I can clear to the height that I want to, and as you can see, it started to blend already, but it's clearing out the canvas from the top of the line down so that I can put my skin in. So this is basically my kit. You can call it whatever you want. When I'm teaching, this is my clearing guard, and it's my connection. Look at that. So from here up, I have a nice connection. So now all I have to do is worry about doing a skin taper into a closed 2, which is easier than trying to blend skin into this overall curly hair. So that was a closed 2. Let's move a little aggressive today. I've explained different ways that I fade on other haircuts. So today I'm gonna just go right in with the trimmer. again, I'm gonna follow a point or a certain angle to mimic the design. And I'm gonna put my skin line in right where Max's ear attaches to his head. We're gonna clean up everything underneath that, go in with the foil shaver, and then follow a procedure from there. I'll explain it on this side, I'll do it on the other side, kind of in shop speed. So the foil, leave room, do not go up to your trimmer line or you're not gonna get a fade. So I got foil and a trimmer in this small area. We're gonna go in with an open no guard. I'm gonna have Max tilt. I'm gonna start low and flick up to clear out the hair that I need. Max's hair, when you get this short, you can see how light it is in color. So, and then the density in the temple area for most men is light. So you're actually gonna need less work here than you think. So I went up with the open no guard just a little bit, because if I go too high, this is gonna completely blow out the fade. So I have an open one on now. Again, I'm gonna start low, control, work my way up to, and you can see like just that open one did a lot of the connection that I needed. I'm gonna use my corner here. This is a blending technique for fading because when I pull this hair down, there's these little dark patches. And those little dark patches, I just want to break up. It's almost like point cutting the top of the hair. So when you see people going in with a corner and it looks like they know exactly what they're doing and like where they're pinpointing it, they're not just going in and doing zigzags for the heck of it. They're breaking up these dark spots of hair to get that blend that they want. So you do a little bit and comb it, less is more. Nice. And we're gonna do a little bit of half guard work there.
Very clean, bro.
There are times where you have to follow full procedure, and then there's times where you got to take the haircut in front of you and adjust. If I were to do kind of my full normal fading procedure here, it would blow out Max's taper, and it would be like all the way up here. There would be like no light to dark transition. That's kind of the hard part and with cutting, knowing when to modify your procedure. All right, I'm gonna mix in some scissor work here. I'm gonna use my blending shears. Blending shears have close to 40 teeth on them, and they almost cut like a traditional shear. So when I'm doing this, I'm just gonna stay on the ends of the hair. I'm seeing some dark spots up here that I'm not really liking the way that it's sitting for my taper. So I'm gonna comb up, find that hair, and just stay on the ends. And this should blend out that little bit of a dark spot that I'm not really happy with. There we go. This bulk right here, I'm gonna move to a blending shear with 25 to like 32 teeth, and this I'm gonna debulk with. So I'm actually gonna go in, there we go. I'm actually gonna go towards the mid shaft, so closer in, not stay on the ends. I hit once, removed some of that bulk so that hair could sit there. That doesn't sacrifice my length. And again, this haircut is a balance of lengths. So I have a little bit of bulking here. We're gonna pinpoint that right here. I'm gonna go in further than the ends, not to the root though. Hit once, comb it out. Now again, I don't want a lot of tension there. So I'm gonna use my fingers to keep the integrity of that curl and wave. And just that one hit in that area, debulk that enough. Okay.
Another comment from Natasha.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. That does look good. Yeah. What's up?
Natasha says, I can hands on the shark fin shears, planning on buying a set after my graduation as a gift to myself.
Sweet. Awesome. When are you graduating?
March of 2025.
Sweet. So right here, I get up, I bring my fingers closer up on the trimmer here for short movements and a lot of control. When I'm clearing, I'll move my hand back a little bit. If I'm not using a height restrict, like I'm not worried about how high I'm going, I need like bigger movements. So anytime I'm trying to get more precise, I'm gonna move my hand up on the clipper. I also use my middle finger as a pivot on Max's cheekbone here to give me better control with my movement. All right, the client never notices that. As soon as they hear this, and then you start cutting, they don't know you're really touching. So it's good for you to stabilize. I'm not gonna do a full outline towards the back because that's gonna mess up the hair, the mullet look. So I'm just gonna take a little bit here. There we go. So you can see we still have all that hair there. And then when we kind of push it back, gives it this nice short to long graduation. Man, I was excited about doing this haircut, but it's coming out a little better so than I thought. We're live, guys. I haven't cut Max's hair in probably over a year, and definitely not with this style. So
Yeah, it's been a minute.
we're out here. You're seeing it. You're seeing it all. I like it. Okay, let's go shop speed on this side. We're gonna repeat what we did. 2, outliner, foil, open no guard, down a little bit, 1, maybe some half guard, polish work. If you didn't follow all that, there's AI devices out there that can regurgitate everything I just said in 30 seconds. Thank God AI can't cut hair though, that's all I'm saying. All right, so close 2, up and off. And remember guys, the goal is to keep some darkness up at the top and to blend into the curls. Great. So my line was, or I cleared to up here. Now from there down, I have a clean canvas to put my skin in. What angle are we going at? This is the angle. I went from his reference point from where the ear attaches to the head and followed that same angle. So I'm going to do that on this side as well. That's why I was sharing on that side where I was putting it and why. Did you hear that? Remember, leave room between the foiler and the outliner. Tilt the head for comfortable position for yourself. Open no guard, start low, same angle as clearing and with the trimmer. On the other side, I'm just going to follow the blueprint. We used a 1, so I'm going to use a 1 here, open. I can hear it and see it. So I'm listening first. Ah, buonissimo. This side I don't have to pick as much, so I'm not going to. If you don't see it, don't do it. The other side had more dense pockets, so I had to use the picking technique. This is the half guard, and I'm just gonna hit this line right here where I was transitioning from the open no guard to the 1. I can hear it. I hope you guys can hear it. As soon as I'm hearing that cut, I'm flicking off. And a little bit of lever play. If you don't know what lever play is, it's the lever's open, it's closed. I was open up here. I'm gonna close it just a little bit until I find that measurement that brings the haircut together. That's lever play for you. Okay? Not science. You gotta kind of feel it out a little bit. Again, not going fully behind the ear here. Getting this hair inside out of the way. There's a little bit here I want to get rid of. We're going to use the adjustable there. Sweet. I'm going to comb the hair down. Let's go back in with the blending shears there. Closer to the 40 tooth for blending. Tight side of the comb. Just hitting the ends. There's a couple different techniques. I want to show you this one for now. That just softened it up enough. When he combs his hair back like that, it's going to look exactly how we want it to. But if it ever comes down, I want it to be close in replicating that. How we looking, Des?
How the cut look?
Yeah.
Look great.
Cool. Let's do a 360 spin for you guys.
Oh, wow, focus. Give me a second. Alright, we're going.
Ready? Slower?
Yeah, the face tracking is kind of like freaked out for a second. All right.
Okay.
You asked me an honest question just now about the haircut.
What?
It looks good. It looks great. The other, I'll be quiet.
All right. 6 weeks since the interior of the haircut was done. Took about almost a ½ inch off of the top. There was bulk through the band here. Removed that. Kept the nape the way it was. Removed some bulk from the transition to the taper into the back for that mullet look. Did a skin taper. And we put the matte clay in damp. We used the scrunching technique to keep the curl. Hit it with a low heat until it was drying. Didn't want to over dry it so it didn't frizz. And then we hit it with cold air. I think we accomplished everything we set out for today. So again, I used 2 different blending shears. I used my 6 1/4 double shark fin shears. Again, this is my go-to, my workhorse. Can cut wet or dry hair, why I love it. Anytime I have the ability to cut dry, I enjoy that because it shows me just live like what's happening to the hair. We wet the hair today because we were working with curly wet hair. I wanted to get full tension and extension up to be able to get it to the length that I wanted to when it was dry. We used a 40 tooth blending shear from Shark Fin to be able to blend between the clipper and scissor work. And then we used the 25 to 30 tooth for certain areas where we wanted to remove bulk and get a stronger shape that we were looking for. So please visit us at sharkfinshears.com. We have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a swivel or a non-swivel, 5 1/2, 6 1/4, or a 7-inch shear. Please take a look. Thank you guys for tuning in today, for sticking around. If you're going to buy that single shear and you're shopping online, anything from the Pro line up, when you go to check out, please use VP20 for the promo code to get yourself a discount. If you're a school joining us and you do not have the Shark Fin student kit in your school right now, please give one of our reps a call and tell them that you are watching the live segment. If you're ordering for the first time, use VP10 for a promo code for your school. Thank you guys for tuning in. Reach out to us on Instagram or at the email address education@sharkfinshears.com. My name is Vinny. You can catch me at lucky_lefty215 on Instagram. Message me if you have any questions. We'll see you guys next week. Say bye, Max. Go Birds.
See ya.